According to a timeline found on the National Fish and Wildlife Service website, accessed March 22nd, 2016, NDSU's mascot, the North American bison, in the 1500s numbered approximately 30 to 60 million. When we fast forward to the 1900s, the population had been decreased to a measly 325. This was due to overhunting, specifically with the numbers averaged out being nearly 5,000 bison being taken each day. Also, another factor that contributed to their near extinction was a failure to protect the land that these bison roamed. Good morning, everyone. My name is Dawson.
I'm Kennedy.
I'm Sam.
And today we will be talking with you about wildlife conservation. Now, while the bison population has increased back to normal levels and is no longer endangered, this sort of mistreatment of populations of animals is still happening today. This is an important issue to consider because of how a loss of species affects the rest of an ecosystem. If species continue to go extinct, other animals, including humans, will be negatively impacted because of the disruption that these extinctions cause in the food chain. Does it not sound better to focus on conservation now than trying to reestablish these ecosystems later? Wildlife today is being mistreated, and society as a whole needs to focus on wildlife and habitat conservation, and the need to educate people on this importance. While Kennedy and Sam have done extensive research on this topic, I personally have had first-hand experience with trying to combat these issues that we will be discussing with you today. I myself am a member of Pheasants Forever and the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. What these foundations do is they focus on raising awareness to help preserve these beautiful lands and the animals that roam them.
Today we will tell you about the alarming decrease in species populations around the world. We'll also tell you about how overhunting and land development contribute to these problems and how we can help stop this problem. First, we must understand the problems that our wildlife face today. While there are many problems, arguably the largest problem is the sudden decrease in the number of members in particular populations. Populations of animals are shrinking drastically, and many may soon go extinct. There's been a drastic increase in the number of organisms on the endangered species list. According to EndangeredEarth.com, accessed March 22nd, the number of endangered species has increased by an alarming 188 in the past year alone, although this list includes both plants and animals. Some of these species no longer even live in the wild because of how small their populations have become. 65 of the species on the endangered species list live only in captivity, so they can be kept in protection around the clock. The same website also said that humans have been the cause of extinction for over 800 species in the past 500 years. Extinction is defined as the total eradication of a species, and according to biologicaldiversity.org, we are currently experiencing a mass extinction. This is the largest mass extinction since that of the dinosaurs, with nearly a dozen species going extinct each day. The problems that wildlife face, including endangerment and extinction, share a cause of human oversight. Humans are a large cause of this decrease in species populations. Overhunting or overexploitation is a factor in this decrease. Overexploitation is defined as the overuse of wildlife and plant species by people for food, clothing, pets, medicine, sport, and many other purposes, according to the National Wildlife Federation. Many species in the U.S. are protected under the Endangered Species Act, but because it is so hard to monitor the harvest and trade of many of these animals, many are still being overused today. Overdevelopment also contributes to humans' impact on the species around them. Many species are being threatened because their habitats are being torn apart to make way for human development. Humans cut down trees and tear up land and use it for building, farmland, and housing. According to the World Wildlife Fund's website, accessed March 22nd, habitat loss is the primary threat to species that are considered endangered or threatened.
So conservation is a big problem for society today. What is the solution? The solution is emphasis on conservation efforts. There's many ways to do this. An example is following hunting, fishing, and trading laws. These laws are put in place by the government for the same reasons that speeding laws and traffic laws are put in place, to protect people and wildlife together. The DNR is the people that put these in place, and they're the Department of Natural Resources, and they know what they're doing, so it's important that we follow these laws to protect not only people, but wildlife too. Another way to conserve wildlife is to end overdevelopment and habitat loss. A way to do this is recycling and protecting habitats. At the end of the day, the less paper, the less wood, and the less resources in general that people use, the better, because then we're conserving for future generations as well. A huge step toward improvement is the education of youth. The youth are the future of America and the future of the world. Many organizations recognize this and hold annual events and workshops to work with the youth. Example of organizations that do this are the DNR, the Department of Natural Resources, which I've already talked about, and the World Wildlife Fund, the WWF. They teach the youth of America about protecting the environment and hunting responsibly. It's important for people to understand the importance of wildlife to our lifestyles. The egg from the chicken or the rubber from the the tree are important aspects of day-to-day life that we use every single day. It's important that we conserve this and conserve wildlife so that future generations can use this. Species populations globally are decreasing at an alarming rate. And as a whole, society needs to focus on the conservation of our wildlife and their habitats. Today we told you about how many species are being threatened, how overhunting and overdevelopment are two of the main causes of this threat, and how we can live conservationally and educate others. Maybe, with some effort, some of the endangered and threatened species can make a comeback, just like our beloved American